Hi, this is Blake LeVine, and today I want to do a talk about living with bipolar disorder and trying at all times to stay calm. So, in my life, when I was first diagnosed with bipolar, it went from feeling okay to really being nervous and scared. For any young person to face the mental hospital and to wonder about your future, it can be so hard and challenging. And over many years of recovering, I learned that at all times we have to find a way to be calm. And people have asked me, what do I do when there's a lot of stress in my life? What happens when I don't know the future? I'm not sure how much money I'll have next year. I don't know what my job's going to look like. I'm not sure how my business is going to grow. And when I hear those questions, there's no easy answer. Nobody says, well, this will be what happens, because often the future is unknown. And in those times, I reach for God. And to be open, I consider myself Jewish. I also believe in some of the Christian values. And more than that, I think any religion that allows you to be peaceful and to say, you know what, I'm going to be okay, is a positive step in the right direction. I have found that when times are trying and I don't know what to do, I spend some time praying and asking God to help me figure out how to stay calm and work towards a brighter future. And these days, I think there's sometimes challenges that we're all facing. But when you take a break and you say, you know what, even if you're not religious, you say, you know what, I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to figure out what is the best thing to do in this moment. I'm going to relax. If I'm feeling nervous, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to go do something fun, go to a movie, laugh, maybe see a friend, go to a support group. Whatever you can do to allow yourself to be peaceful. Sorry if you hear some background noise. My son Ryan is playing with one of his toys. But I find that don't get so scared. Don't give up hope. Don't feel like the future is bleak, because even in the worst case scenarios, when the future is bleak, by staying calm, we can figure it out. And I lived in New York during 9/11, which was terrible. And I would never want anything like that ever to happen again. But even that day, when it was as dark as I've ever seen in my life, mentally and physically and emotionally, I said, how do I stay calm? And for me, it was taking my sister, my stepsister Natasha, and my stepmom, and going, out of the city. And we did our best to be calm. We went to my mother's house, and even though that happened and it was hard, we all got through it. And eventually life goes on, and you say to yourself, you know what, these are hard, terrible things, and none of us should ever face them. But when we do face things, there's nothing that could ever be worse than that. What can we do? What should we do? So I, with bipolar, teach others that you can just say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can. Life is not always easy. I'll leave you with this thought for today. I, used to listen to a lot of self-help tapes and people that speak about optimism. And I thought, because I used to be very negative, that one day it would all be positive and everything that I ever encounter would be about optimism and hope. And then over the last few years, so much has happened. And I learned that when that bad stuff happens, it doesn't mean, like my brother dying of a heroin overdose, it doesn't mean that, life is always great. But when it gets bad, like my brother dying, the only thing you can do is find a way to have hope and go on. And, when I reach for God, it helps me. And life is not always simple, but I can hold on to that. And I learned that if we hold on to severe addictions like heroin or hardcore drugs, that only leads to complete darkness. I want to share today about my brother's book. If any of you have watched some of my other videos, I talk about it. But I think it's a great book about mental illness and addiction. And even if you don't have any mental illness, which for me is hard to believe, we all have some mental health issues, and you have no addictions, and we all have addictions, including myself, and I try to work and be sober every day. I think the book's a great guide, and in the spirit of the holidays in 2017, I made the book very lowered in its price. So I think it's $6.99. I'm going to put the link below, and I hope if you are interested, you'll read it. Also want to share, I wrote a book called The Psychology of Adult Coloring, which talks about being peaceful and finding healthy outlets. And as you guys may hear in the background, I'm going to go with my son. He's playing with his cars. We have some toy cars and trains, and I'm going to go back with him. And I pray today that whatever happens for you, whatever you're experiencing, whatever's going on, that you hold on to hope. And thank you for checking this out. I also do a life coaching program. You can learn about it on my website, which I'll share. And I wish you a blessed rest of the day, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. And may 2017 hopefully be a better year for all of us.